Photos are the perfect way to capture the experience of others. And with 40 years in the business, our next guest has witnessed some of the most breathtaking scenes across the globe.
World-renowned photographer Steve McCurry joins us with details on his latest showcase at the Loyola University Museum of Art, Icons. Steve, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, so you've had a busy day here today talking about your new museum exhibit here. You have exhibits all over the world right now. They're in Guatemala, Turkey, France.
The best one, though, is here in Chicago.
Good answer. Yes, and why did you choose here in Chicago?
Well, we have some partners we've been working with, looking at various venues, various cities. And this came up, it was available.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like the right thing to do at the right time. And what a better place than Chicago to launch this exhibition.
We love that your exhibit is called Icons because you yourself are considered an icon. I mean, how does that feel to see the body of your work being exhibited?
Well, to be able to travel since 40 years and photograph literally every continent and to meet so many great people and so many world events, the Afghan Girl being one of the, it's been a privilege. I feel blessed to have had this life. And I wake up in the morning, pinch myself, is this really what I do for a living?
It's unbelievable.
Which is amazing.
Yes, and we just saw a shot of Afghan Girl there in your exhibit.
Yeah.
Do you ever, I'm assuming you don't tire of people saying how much they love that photo. I'm curious if there is another one that you wonder why has never gotten that much attention as that one, or if you understand.
Well, I think you have to be grateful when people connect with your work.
Yeah.
And I never tire of talking about that picture because, again, I think that if people respond, that's a wonderful thing. I have about 1 million pictures in my archive. And as far as my favorite one, I mean, I have hundreds of favorite pictures, but it's the ones that people respond to which end up kind of finding their way in the books and exhibitions and whatnot. But
And Steve, did you know, like when you took that picture and you saw her eyes and then you saw it on the cover of National Geographic, did you know that it would change your life personally too?
Well, I knew it was a strong photograph. I knew it was an amazing image. And I never dreamed to be on the cover of the magazine, first of all. I never imagined that, 35 years later, we'd still be talking about it. So it's like a once-in-a-lifetime image, really.
Yeah.
We were talking in the commercial break too about some of the amazing places you've been. You've been in a lot of conflicted areas as well. You just got back from Ukraine. Do you ever get nervous when you're making these trips?
I think when you're driving on the road or walking in village, realizing that at any moment you could be killed by a bomb or a rocket, it's a little unnerving, but you just have to kind of put that out of your mind, move forward, say I made this choice to come here to tell this story, and let the chips fall where they may. I feel a little bit lucky. I don't think I'll end up getting, bombed in Ukraine, but you never know. I mean, I could get, mugged on the way to the airport.
Right. Life is fragile overall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, are there rules of engagement in terms of when you're taking photographs, when you're out in the field? I mean, these are some very difficult circumstances where you're seeing people in very tragic situations. Are there moments where you're like, I can't get involved, or I can't help this person, or like, do you feel, is it awkward to take photos of someone that may be in such distress?
Well, I think you always have to be respectful of the people you're photographing. You always have to look at the situation, work with good people. So I think that's the main thing is just, what's the right thing to do here? Photograph, not photograph, step aside. So I think you always have that question about your conduct and the ethics of the situation.
And we're looking at video now of some of the pictures you took in India. You mentioned being in all 7 continents throughout your life, capturing different photos. What would you say is the most emotional for you to be at?
Which country?
Yeah.
I think
continent
India,
or country, yeah.
I think India, sort of that whole South Asia goes from Afghanistan, Tibet, India, Sri Lanka, Burma. That area of the world is kind of my beat, and the one that's really spoken to me over the years.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's the ancient culture. I think it's the people. I feel safe there.
Yeah.
Their heritage goes back, thousands of years. And there's a lot of Buddhism there, which I'm very attracted to the Buddhist culture. So I go back. I'm going back again next year, twice, back to Burma, Thailand. So yeah, I never get tired of that area.
And they're saying these are photos of Kashmir here that we're showing on the screen. In terms of like taking the photos of the people, telling their stories and sort of weighing like the line of like, exploitation or cultural
Right.
appropriation, like how do you grapple with that, especially in today's age?
Well, I think everybody's story needs to be told. I think people that are disadvantaged, people in Ukraine, people that are in a very difficult way, I think, for me, I think their story needs to be told. I don't think about exploitation. I think about how can these people benefit by their story, their situation, people learning about them. So I think that the role of journalism is so important to get that story out.
Absolutely. Have you kept in touch with any of your subjects?
A lot.
Wow.
A lot.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve. You can see icons in person now at the Loyola University Museum of Art. Head to feverup.com to get tickets.
Thank you so much for being here. We
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's such an honor.